Have you ever been so broken, so tired, so desperate that you fell to your knees and whispered one simple prayer into the silence of the night, not knowing if anyone was even listening? Have you ever cried out to God in a moment so raw, so real, that the only words you could find were, God, I need you right now? If you have ever been in that place, then what you are about to hear in the next few minutes was made specifically for you. This is not just another motivational message. This is a word that carries fire, a word that carries healing, a word that has the power to shift the atmosphere of your life the moment you receive it deep in your spirit. So I need you to stop whatever you are doing right now. I need you to open your heart, because God is about to move in your situation in a way that you have never seen before. There is a woman, a real woman, whose story will never leave your heart once you hear it. She had been praying for years, not days, not weeks, years. She prayed for her marriage. She prayed for her children. She prayed for her finances. She prayed for her health. And every single morning, she would wake up before the sun rose, get on her knees beside her bed, and speak to God with everything she had inside of her. But the years passed, and nothing seemed to change. The marriage was still broken. The bills were still piling up. The sickness was still present. And slowly, quietly, doubt began to creep into her heart like a shadow at midnight. She began to wonder if God was truly hearing her. She began to wonder if prayer was even real. And on one particular night, exhausted and emotionally empty, she knelt down one final time and prayed the most honest prayer she had ever prayed in her life. She did not quote scriptures. She did not use religious language. She simply said, God, I have nothing left. I am giving this one last prayer to you. Please move. And then she went to sleep. What happened next changed her life forever. But before we get to that, you need to understand something powerful about the nature of prayer that most people never teach. You need to understand why that one prayer, that single desperate cry, carried more weight in the heavens than all her years of routine religious words combined. This is the mystery that teachers like Joshua Selman have spent years unlocking from the Word of God. The truth that prayer is not about the quantity of your words, but the quality of your surrender. God does not respond to performance. God does not move because you said the right things in the right order at the right time of the morning. God moves when your heart is fully open, when your pride is completely gone, when you stop trying to impress Him and simply come to Him as you are, broken, honest, and completely dependent on His grace. Matthew 21:22 says that whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. Not if you pray long enough, not if you pray loud enough. If you have faith. And faith, real faith, is born in the place of total surrender. It is born in the moment when you finally let go of your own understanding and trust completely in the goodness and the power of a God who sees you, who hears you, and who has already prepared the answer before you even form the question in your mind. By paragraph 2, like Rahan, 600 words exactly. Now here is where the story gets deeper, and I need you to stay with me, because what is coming next is going to shake something loose inside of you. That woman woke up the next morning to a phone call. It was her doctor. The test results had come back, and the sickness that had been tormenting her body for months was completely gone. No medical explanation, no logical reason. The doctors were confused, but she was not confused at all. She knew exactly what had happened. God had moved. Not because she had prayed for years, not because she had finally said the right words, but because on that one night, in that one moment, she had prayed with her whole heart, completely surrendered, and heaven had responded. But here is what I need you to understand, and this is the part that will either set you completely free or leave you more frustrated than before if you miss it. God had been working the entire time. Every single prayer she had ever prayed had been heard. Every tear she had ever cried had been collected. Every night she had spent on her knees had been recorded in the courts of heaven. The delay was never rejection. The silence was never abandonment. God was building something in the unseen realm that her natural eyes could not yet perceive. And when the fullness of time came, when her heart reached the place of complete surrender, everything that had been prepared in the spirit was suddenly released into the natural. This is the mystery of prayer that so many believers have never fully grasped. We live in a generation that wants instant results, a generation that gives up after 1 week of praying and declares that God is not listening. We treat prayer like a vending machine. We put in our request. We expect immediate output. And when nothing comes out, we walk away disappointed and defeated. But prayer was never designed to be a transaction. Prayer was designed to be a transformation. Every time you pray, something is changing. Not just in your circumstances, but in you. Every time you open your mouth and call on the name of God, you are being shaped. You are being prepared. You are being positioned for the very answer you are believing for. The problem is that most people stop praying right before the breakthrough arrives. They quit in the middle of the process, not knowing that they were only one prayer away from seeing God move in a way that would leave them speechless and overwhelmed with gratitude. And right now, as you are watching this, I want you to feel something rising in your spirit. I want you to feel the weight of every prayer you have ever prayed and abandoned. I want you to feel the heaviness of every promise you stopped believing in because the weight became too long and the pain became too real. Because here is the truth that is about to break every chain of doubt in your life. God has not forgotten a single word you have ever spoken to him. Not one prayer has fallen to the ground unheard. Not one cry has gone unnoticed. There is a moment coming in your life, and it may be closer than you think, when everything you have been praying for is going to arrive all at once, and you will not be able to explain it with human logic because it will be too perfect, too precise, too divinely orchestrated to be anything other than the hand of God moving on your behalf in direct response to your faith. By paragraph 3, like Rahahan, 600 words exactly. So what do you do right now in this very moment with everything you have just heard? What do you do when your situation still looks impossible, when the bills are still unpaid, when the relationship is still broken, when the doctors still have no good news, when the dream still looks so far away that hope itself feels like a luxury you can no longer afford? You do the one thing that changes everything. You pray. Not tomorrow morning, Not after you feel more spiritually prepared. Not after you have fasted for 3 days and read 10 chapters of the Bible. Right now, exactly as you are, with all your doubt and all your fear and all your exhaustion still present, you open your mouth and you speak to God from the deepest, most honest place inside of you. Because the prayer that moves heaven is not the prayer of the perfect person. It is the prayer of the surrendered person. It is the prayer of the one who has nothing left to offer except their complete and total dependence on the grace and the power of a God who specializes in doing the impossible for people who have run out of options. There is a reason why this message found you today. There are millions of videos on the internet, millions of words being spoken into the atmosphere every single second. And yet something guided you here to this specific word at this specific moment in your life. That was not an accident. That was not a coincidence. That was God orchestrating the details of your day to make sure that you heard exactly what your spirit needed to hear before you gave up, before you closed the door on that prayer, before you decided that your situation was too far gone for God to reach. He wanted you to know today that He sees you. He wanted you to know that the prayer you prayed in secret, the one you prayed when nobody else was watching, the one you whispered through tears in the middle of the night when the darkness felt unbearable, that prayer is alive. It is active. It is working right now in ways that your natural eyes cannot see and your natural mind cannot comprehend. This is the heart of everything that genuine ministers of the word, people who carry the spirit of teachers like Joshua Selman, have always preached with such passion and such conviction that God is not slow, God is not deaf, God is not distant. God is working, God is moving, God is preparing. And the moment you pray with a heart fully surrendered, fully honest, and fully dependent on His power alone, you activate something supernatural that no devil in hell and no circumstance on earth can stop or delay. So right now, before this video ends, before you scroll to the next thing, before the business of life pulls you back into its relentless current, I want you to stop and pray. Pray the one prayer you have been afraid to pray. Pray the prayer you gave up on. Pray it with your whole heart, with zero performance and zero pretense, and then watch what God does. Watch how quickly heaven responds to a heart that is truly surrendered. Watch how the God who created the universe rearranges circumstances, opens doors, silences enemies, and releases miracles for the one who simply dares to believe. Your breakthrough is not coming, it is already here. You just prayed it into existence. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.